Wow, it's kind of cool with the sun. It is kind of cool with the sun popping up over the house. I look kind of neat. I hear agony inside my house. I hear babies screaming. They probably miss their dad terribly. For anyone wondering, why, yes, I am wearing my pajamas today. One of the last instructions my wife gave me as I was heading outside to do my live show, she was, "Go get your jeans on." To which I very said, "No, I'm going to wear my PJs." She doesn't think PJs is a classy look. Maybe she's right. Maybe she's probably right. I mean, she's definitely right. The PJs aren't the classiest look in the world. Hello, Alfredo. Hello, Amy. I'm so glad you're catching me live. Amy, though, I'm just starting out. Thank you for joining, Alfredo and Amy. Hello, RJ and Donna and Angela and Moose and Not Original and User. I'm dual streaming again. What are the requirements for being best friends? What do you mean? What are the requirements for being best friends? Hello, Jay. Hello, Sean. Good morning, Donna. I was never a super big best friend guy. I had a lot of really, really good friends, and I hate to rate somebody the best. I'll see people that'll post on Instagram and, my bestie. Here's me and my bestie. And I don't know. Seems, I don't want to say juvenile, because if you're one that takes pictures with a friend and says, "This is me and my bestie," that's cool. You do you. But for me, it just seemed kind of youthful or silly or, labeling a very best friend. Maybe if it's your soulmate or your wife or something like that. But I had a bunch of really, really close friends, and would have struggled to label one better than the other. YouTube just now noticed me. Oh, it shows the end. So glad I got to catch live. We have been neighbors, not literally, but used to live in Downers. I've got Amy from Downers Grove. Amy spelled with an I-E chiming in on YouTube. And again, I'm dual streaming to you this morning. Searle says it's a beautiful weather in Naperville this weekend. Did you guys hear that crow? So reminds me, and I've talked about this before, delivering papers with my older brothers in Downers Grove, and must have been the 70s, because we moved out of that house in 78. And we'd go out and deliver papers at crazy early hours in the morning and bring a crow call. And they worked. And soon we'd have crows circling our heads and cawing up above our heads. And it was kind of neat. Try streaming on Facebook. RJ, you're right. Good morning, Miss Hampton. Good morning, Adriana. We are going to do try streaming soon. We might even do quad streaming at one point, because my wife, also known as my key grip, who's taking larger chunks of the roles and now does producing and directing, and wants me live streaming on Instagram and Facebook at the same time. And I don't know if that would be healthy on my baby-like complexion. Hello, Andrea. Having all that radiation from cameras and computers blasting on me at the same time, it could be horrific. Amy says it's cool she's helping me. Yeah, Amy, it's funny because sometimes she gets more into it than I. I'm usually tired because I'm the one in front of the camera doing some talking and doing a lot of editing. I couldn't keep up with the amount of content I was creating every day and the editing work required. But she's a little crazy. She's crazy like I am. And would dive in and edit and get her headset on and go in the other room and didn't want me bothering her while she was at work. And thank you. They are beautiful. Well, thank you, Andrea. Where's the coffee, Ken? Well, I appreciate it. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken, even though I just chugged some water. It is Saturday morning. It is November 4th. It is 8:09 a.m. Happy Saturday. This is a little show I have been doing for about 4.5 years, and most of you guys know the backstory, but it's always fun to retell. I was living in a dark apartment. It was probably June of 2019, I think. I was living in the dark apartment, missing the woman of my dreams. She was beautiful. She was sexy. She was talented. She was funny. So I had to move out of our house and lived in a dark apartment. I missed her. I missed the kids. I missed the dog. I missed the house. I missed the patio. I missed the yard. I missed my life. And I always realized that talking about the stuff that was on my chest made me feel a little bit better. And I started doing it live on Facebook. And one thing led to another, and people started watching, and I think enjoyed my rawness. Can raw be a ness? Rawness? My rawness? There's probably a better word than rawness. But they enjoyed my rawness. We'll just go with that. That could be the word of the day. Rawness. But anyway, and I kept doing it, and the audience grew, and time passed, and I kept going, and I kept going and continued to have the ups and downs that we all have in life, or I don't know if we all have them, but I certainly do. And here I am 4.5 years ago, sitting out. Yeah, it is free therapy. Sitting out of a home in Naperville. I got 2 little babies now, and just was feasting. If I have anything in my teeth, please let me know. I was feasting on blueberry muffins and pumpkin muffins and blueberries, and I'd hate to have chunks of blueberries in my teeth. So keep me honest. Let me know. My nose is running. I got Kleenex. It's not even a Kleenex. It's a paper towel. I've talked about it before. Any paper product I can use in a case of an emergency to wipe my nose or blow my nose. I was on a show, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, and the only paper product I had available was one of those wet wipes that you use to clean a baby's bottom after they go poopies. Wasn't sure if it would work. It worked. Not great. Okay, RJ, good question. 8x11 sheet of paper. Are we talking glossy paper? Thank you, Cubby Bear. No, I don't think one of those lined. We talk about such important topics here on Coffee with Ken, don't we? I don't think lined paper that you write on would work. Do you remember back in school when you had notebooks with those, whatever they are, those little slinkies or springs or what have you? And I don't know. I'm a righty, and it'd be really easy writing one way, but then you'd have to flip the book over and write the other way, and your hand would run into the curls or the wires or the spiral notebook. Yeah, and it always bummed me when I was writing that way. And I don't know. I was born in '68, and I'm thinking back to writing with pencils. I have one real phobia in life, and I'm kind of breaking up over on YouTube. It's a bummer. So what's going on? I'm all choppy. I'm digitally. Maybe I'll just tune off. of YouTube. Should I? Bah. Yeah, I don't think it was meant to be. I'm going to turn off YouTube and just talk to you over on TikTok. Because that's going to distract me. Good morning, Joey. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining. Imagine how left-handed people feel. Yeah, no, I bet. I was born in '68, and I was born at a time when great inventions were happening, like erasable pens. Erasable pens. I'm drinking M&M's coffee, and my cat is sitting on my lap purring. How nice, Lorraine. How nice. Good morning, Joey, if I didn't say it to you before. But anyway, it was so exciting when we learned we could erase pens, but the ink never stayed on the paper that well, and the eraser didn't work that well. And it must have been hell for teachers in the 70s and early 80s to, I don't know, grade papers, figure out what we were trying to write at any given moment. Do kids still write on paper and turn it into a teacher? I don't know. Oh, Byron asked, you were saying something about a pencil that freaked you out. Okay, I got one huge phobia in life. I got one huge phobia in life, and I'll share it with you. I'm not even joking. I'm getting, getting yucky feelings all up and down my skin. It's when I can't even talk about it. I can barely even talk about it. It's when pencils are. You know how pencils have erasers on them. I can deal with pencils when they got a nice full eraser. But there's something about when an eraser is running out on a pencil. And there's something about it. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. But if you take a pencil or almost an eraserless pencil and try and erase something, the feel, the sound, the everything about the metal rim of the eraser rubbing against the paper bogs me out so much. If I see a pencil with almost no eraser running around the house, I break it up and I throw it out as quick as possible and hope nobody. Well, that's what's. Do you see this? I don't know what the hell this was doing in my house. Do you see this? Do you see this? I don't know what it was doing in my house. Anyway, and I'm not kidding. It bugs me out so much. The thought, that feeling, the sound. All right, let's get a grip, Kenny. Let's get a grip. Can I try to work past it? Do that one time a day for a month and 2 times. I'll build it up. Chew gum when you need a erase. It will help satiate that feeling. I use pencils all the time. I need good erasers. Oh, you gotta have good erasers. As a matter of fact, before I get to my coffee, you know what's kind of fun? And I have fond memories, probably because of my phobia for eraserless pencils, is those big little, the kind of rhombus-looking things. I don't know if it's a rhombus. I think, no, it's not a rhombus, but it's a shape. It's a diagonal rectangle. The pink erasers and a big one, when you could do this, and all the little eraser dust that would come. I have fond memories of that. Would I use a fabric softener sheet for blowing my nose? Sure. Yes, in the lower grades, I'm sure they do need to be taught. But anyway, it's Saturday morning. I've almost talked my whole show, and I haven't even gotten to the coffee, and I apologize for anybody that's patiently waiting out there with me. For those that have been watching a while, oh, this smells good, too. This smells good. You know what it is. You probably know what it is. You probably know what it is. For those that have been watching a while, it's not just a show about me talking. For those that have been watching a while, it is also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. Good morning, Drew. Thank you for joining. You better get your coffee, Drew. I'm rolling into my intro. And with that in mind, I'm sitting outside. It's a beautiful morning. Beautiful. Is this? Yeah, I guess it's late fall morning. It's November 4th. And but it's 40 degrees out, and I'm in my PJs, and I'm a little bit chilly. I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you. Cheers to us. Oh. my second pot of the day. And I didn't drink the whole first pot. Oh. For those that watched my first sip video, I started with the Seattle's Best Dark Roast, Henry's Blend Coffee. And somebody said somebody was watching behind me. Kind of frightened me for a minute. I don't think anybody's watching behind me. Neighborhood sounds so quiet. Neighborhood sounds so peaceful. The only occasional noise I hear in this neighborhood is, I think it's Augie, my screaming 2.5-year-old son, yelling at something. He runs around the house going, ah! Ah! But he's cute. He gets to go, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you what type of coffee this was. It's the pumpkin spice. And again, seasonal coffee, but during the fall season, I think it's my favorite. Hey, Kathy, thank you so much for following the live creator. I go live every morning at 8 o'clock. I have a lot of fun. I talk about random things, about life, about relationships, I got to sneezing, careers, mental health, addictions, children, cars, scooters, fall, season, snow, mowing the lawn, rose bushes, garbage cans. I just talk about it all. So anyway, but for most of it, I talk about my coffee. So let's get back to it. Oh. But anyway, RJ wants to know if I raked. I didn't rake, RJ. What I learned yesterday is that we actually do own a leaf blower. And I blew the leaves. And we have a tree that drops a crazy amount of leaves in our yard. And a leaf blower, I think, is great until the pile of leaves. Hey, Jen, thank you for following the live creator. Well, Kathy, you came to the right place. I like the way you think. A leaf blower is great until the leaves get so thickly laid down. And then I think a leaf blower struggles a little bit to get a whole pile of leaves moved, especially probably when they're a little damp and laying on the grass for a while. And I struggled a little bit yesterday, but it was nice. I'll tell you what, if you're raking up, if you're just raking, it's a hell of a workout. And it felt great to use the blower yesterday. And I did a pretty darn good job. And we have big piles of leaves at the end of our yard. And we're waiting for the powers that be at Naperville to come by with their huge vacuum and suck up the leaves on this, I don't know, November. I mean, they're probably not going to do it today. I doubt they work on Saturdays. If they did, they'd probably charge the city double time. So perhaps they will. It's a scam. Sandy Shepard sent me a rose. RJ's asking if I remember working with UPS. I certainly do. I certainly do remember working with UPS. As a matter of fact, it was just about a year ago. It was shortly before Thanksgiving. I took a seasonal job as a driver helper for UPS. And I've kicked around the idea of doing it again. More money's always better than less money. And there's some days when I certainly would appreciate a little extra money and a little extra activity and maybe a little extra exercise. And I don't know, the joyous feeling that comes from dropping off packages at people's doors right around Christmas, and the kindness and the warmth and the excitement that people feel when they see the UPS or probably the FedEx or the Amazon driver bringing in packages. It's not as glorious of a job as you might think. I think we all probably sit there and see the UPS truck pull up and run a package to our front door, and I don't know, it seems neat. And it's not bad. But in reality, you do that like 200 times a day. And so your day does involve a lot of moving and climbing in and out of the truck and running to the door and dropping off a package. You know, I think it'd be awesome. Too bad UPS doesn't pay a full day's rate to do it for like deliver like 10 packages. Because I think dropping off maybe 10, maybe 15, certainly a number under 30. Because after you drop off about 30 packages, I don't know, the glory that is running in and out of a truck on a cold December day kind of starts to wear out. And some days, you'd have a huge filled truck and you'd have 200, 220 packages to deliver. And again, it was a good job, and it was a job I needed at the time, and it was a job I figured out what I was, I don't know, going to do with my life. And it's a job that paid some bills, and a job that I learned a lot, and a job I could take on again. And I'm still thinking about it, but I'm a little concerned with my knee. A little concerned with my knee, but let's drink a little more coffee. Mm. Oh. Anyway, it's Saturday morning. It looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day. The sun is rising. It's not too chilly out today. My son Augie is going with his mama and his grandma to get a haircut today. It's been a while. For anyone that's seen him, his hair is kind of long. His mama likes it long on the longer side. She probably wants to just trim a little bit off the edge. I'd like to give him not a clean shave like his dada, but I'd like to give him a serious haircut because I think he'd be adorable with some shorter hair. But we'll see how he comes back. I instructed his grandma to cut off more than his mama wanted, and we'll see how that all works out. My wife has really, really, really long hair right now. It goes down like 2/3 the way down her back. And she's scared to cut it. And she went up about 2 weeks ago and cut her hair and was up in the bedroom for, I don't know, it seemed like 2 hours. I'll tell you. I went up, I looked at her, and I go, huh? And I went into the bathroom, and in the garbage, there was, about 5 strands of hair about this long. And she's got like 3 feet of hair going. So it was this, if I shaved today, I would lose more hair on my chin than she lost in her 2 hour long hair cutting. So you should try Amazon Flex. My husband is 60 and he's doing that. Work at your pace. He looks like a surfer baby. Just took off the split ends. I love the little classic little boy haircuts. I do too, Lorraine. I do too. But his mama apparently wants him to look like a surfer baby. I could just picture Augie surfing. He's 2.5 and he's adorable. And he trips when he's walking. You can see it coming. He gets a big head of steam and his feet start moving faster than his body's moving. I don't know. I think we got a stuffed largemouth bass in there. I don't know why it's laying on our floor, and like a toy. I don't know. If it's on the floor, Augie invariably finds a way to stumble his feet over the fish and trip. But he has such enthusiasm. He has such a zest for life. He's just so fun to be around. And again, before I went live today, we were feeding him muffins, and we were giving him some pumpkin muffins and some blueberry muffins and some blueberries and some water. And I don't know, it's just a lot of fun. Hanging with my 2 little ones. And again, Augie's going to get a haircut in a couple hours, and Dad is either going to go work out. He woke up early. He, being me, I like to speak about myself in the third person. I woke up early this morning, about 5 o'clock. Did my first sip video pretty early, and feeling a little calm or a little comfortable or a little relaxed, and wondering if while Grammy, Mama, and the babies are out getting their hair cut, if I won't be able to slide back into bed and pop on some meditative or some hypnotic or some, I don't know, ASMR type video and drift back off to sleep. RJ asked, do I ever consider going to the gym at 4 a.m.? For those that watch my shows, I joined a Planet Fitness about 2.5 months ago. They are open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. And on Friday and Saturday night, I believe, they close, I don't know, maybe at 10, maybe at 7, and reopen at 7 the next morning. So this morning, they would not have been open at 4 a.m. So if I would have went, I would have been like a little boy at the candy store pushing my nose against the glass door going, when are you going to open? And it would have been a dark room inside with nobody working out. And I would have had to sit there for 3 hours. So no, I certainly didn't consider working out today at 4 a.m. I have probably in my life. But I'd rather get up and, I'm not feeling that enthusiastic. We moved the clocks back tonight, says Rachel and Ricky. So does that mean it's going to get dark freaky early? I think it does. Good morning, Nadine. Thank you for hopping on. Rachel and Ricky, I want to make the announcement not to forget to move your clocks back tonight. But I would hate to be wrong. I'd hate to be getting some bad information. Okay, I'm getting it verified with, and again, I bragged about it before. I know that we have the most intelligent audience on social media, and if I got 3 or 4 people just saying to move the clocks back, Nadine's scaring me. She's throwing some doubt over my viewers. I think we're supposed to move the clocks back. For some reason, we just got a big spike in viewers, and welcome to anybody that is joining my page right now. I usually wind up and sign off about this point, but for some reason we just ran from 20 to 60 to 75 viewers. I wonder why that is. I wonder how that could be. I wonder if TikTok said, hey, this guy just said something funny, so let's send out his video to a lot of people. If they did, I appreciate you, the powers that be at TikTok, as my audience continues to grow. Shadow Monk, well, thank you for scrolling and hitting my thing. Digital Diva, thank you so much for following the live creator. If anybody new is out there, please follow my page. I have a lot of fun here. I go live every morning at 8 o'clock. I kind of talk about life, the ups and downs we have. I talk about mental health, about substance abuse, about relationships, about finances, about career. Thank you for following Shadow Monk. I so appreciate you. I wonder what a shadow monk is. A shadow monk sounds like something one of my kids would have wanted to go as for Halloween. What's the temp where you are? It was 40 degrees, which isn't that bad. On Halloween, I did my live outside as well. The last couple days, I've done it in my sunroom, and we had a nice studio set up, but I thought it was a beautiful morning, and thought it would be a good opportunity to sit outside and drink some coffee with you before it got too cold. So Shadow Monk, it did start that way. There's a movie, and it was a Chuck Norris movie, and it wasn't about monks, but it's slipping my mind what it was called. And my brother Steve was big into karate in the 70s and 80s, and he ended up getting a black belt in karate. And we used to watch a lot of martial arts movies. And I would love if somebody can tell me what movie I'm talking about, because I can't picture it right now. How's breakfast today? Donuts? Fun Fred McLaughlin wants to know what was for breakfast today. Oh no, Fun Fred. So far I've had 1/2 of a mega huge Costco pumpkin muffin and a few nubs of a blueberry muffin. No, it wasn't McQuaid. Oh, E came. I get you. What was the movie? And these ninjas throwing stars were chasing after Chuck Norris. I don't know. Well, that was so fun that all of a sudden, again, my viewers were kind of quiet, and I ran from 20 to 100 right as I was thinking about signing off. I got to think of that movie. Octagon. The Octagon. Has anybody out there seen The Octagon? It's a Chuck Norris movie. It was a Chuck Norris movie. Ken, you still working at Walmart? I have never worked at Walmart. I rarely even shop at Walmart. But no, I am not still working at Walmart. I'm not even still working at Target, which is what you might be thinking. I was a realtor for 17 years, and yeah, I was a realtor for 17 years, and I left that. I didn't renew my license at the start of this year. And again, I talk about it a lot. I don't regret that at all. And again, real estate was an interesting career and one I did a long, long time. But it feels so good to not meet anybody and tell them that that I'm a realtor, because I think people's perception immediately uh, is impacted if they meet me and you know, as soon as they find out I'm a realtor, they have preconceived notions about me. And I probably do about people I meet. And maybe it was in my head more than theirs, but I don't think so. And it always felt funny telling people I was a realtor. But anyway, I did not renew my license, and worked at a super Target in February. Started working at a super Target and worked from February to September. Good morning, Lynn. And I don't know, enjoyed parts of that. It didn't enjoy others, and left that about 2 months ago. And now I'm pouring myself into full-time content creation. Bobby wants to know if I'm rich, only rich with joy and happiness. Bobby, I'm certainly not rich. I've been rich before. I've been broke before. And I realize money doesn't buy happiness, but being broke sucks. So, yeah. Oh, I mean, it's still so good. It is still so good. Nadine, do you really want me to talk what's wrong with a realtor? Nothing's wrong with a realtor. Nothing's wrong with a realtor. I just didn't like being it. I didn't like being it at all. I didn't like being it at all. Don't get me started on that. What's the coffee this morning? It's the pumpkin spice. Bruce wants to know what's the answer. Well, Bruce, I don't even know what the question is. I don't even know what the question is. And Bruce is demanding an answer. I'm just kidding, Bruce. I love you. I think of Ken when I pour my coffee. That's what I was doing for a while as a realtor. I was figuring I was hijacking because I did so many videos from Starbucks, and I just figured, wow, people think of me when they pour their cup of coffee, or people think of me when they go to Starbucks, or people just think of me a hell of a lot. And I thought it would lead to massive real estate sales and huge wealth, and I did okay. What makes me happy? I don't know. Nothing makes me happy. I think over the last few years, I've found a peace and contentment and calmness in my soul that I didn't have for the first 50 years of my life. I'm 55. And again, about 4.5 years ago, I started delving into stuff and mental health and anxiety and depression and addiction and all sorts of things, relationships and spirituality. And I realized, again, I talked about it the other day. I was in my dark apartment 4.5 years ago, and I remember I was laying in bed, and the voices in my head were such negative ones and hateful ones and mean ones and afraid ones. And they were saying bad things about me, and they were my voices. And I said, hey, I got to fix this. I got to fix this. Uh, and I have. And the quickest way to fix it for me was popping on positive affirmations and changing the voices in my head. Because you shouldn't be going through life saying you're a loser, you suck, you're a failure. And I had to change those voices in my head. And now, I still struggle with anxiety and fear from time to time, but I can soothe myself And I think I used to find soothing in a bottle of Heineken or in a hit of pot. And uh, I realized that was a problem that I had to change. And so I stopped drinking and smoking a little over 2 years ago. And I don't know. I'm just calmer and more content. What would you say about a realtor now that is confused about whether they want to stay in the career? What would I say? I thought of quitting, getting out of real estate so many times in my career. And again, I did it 17 years. And I did fairly okay. I think my biggest year I made $108,000 after expenses. But I was probably the last 10 years averaging $60,000 to $75,000 in income. Not great, but better than most, and enough to pay the bills. And I didn't know anything else that would pay me $6,000 a month. And I mean, you obviously there's a lot of jobs out there that will, um, but I had a job that had potential to make a ton of money, and I was making okay money. And I thought about quitting, and I would look back on my career and think of all the times being in real estate made me cry, and how many crushing disappointments when I had to. There was a time in 2008 where I had to scrape together change to put in my gas to go preview homes for a client. And, times can be tough in real estate. And a guy that was very senior in the business said you're going to get a lot more disappointments than appointments. And he was so right. He was so right. And I know, again, I was probably in the top, I certainly was in the top 20%, but I might have even been higher than that of realtors nationwide in terms of production. But if you're not in the top 5%, you can get it can be tough. And you can face a lot of disappointment. And, some people I think were meant to be realtors. I thought I was meant to be a realtor. I think I'm outgoing and people generally like me, and I'm fairly intelligent and I can talk numbers. But it was not for me. And it feels so good. I think your name is Daniela, I believe, somebody that asked me the question. Um, it feels so good not selling real estate anymore. I just feel like this huge burden's off my chest. Everywhere I went, everything I did, everyone I met, I felt was a potential customer. And my job was to tell them I'm a realtor and say how awesome and how great the business is and this and that, and ask if when are they planning on moving. And again, I talked about it a lot. It was 4 years ago. I was separated from my wife at the time, and it was Christmas. And I was staying at a buddy's, and we went to church on Christmas. And I had my two daughters there and his kids. And a woman was talking real estate, and I'm at church on Christmas. And one of my buddy's kids told the woman, hey, if you need a good realtor, Ken's a great realtor. And although I appreciate the introduction and the referral, it was Christmas, and I was with my kids. And I didn't want to talk real estate at all. I wanted to sit there and enjoy the peace and quiet. And I don't think I could ever feel any peace and quiet as a realtor. And Danielle, I feel great not selling real estate anymore. I feel great not selling real estate anymore. I think Bruce asked me what I want to do. Thank you so much, Shadow Monk. The Octagon. I appreciate you. I hope you follow my page. And anybody new here, please follow my page. And I got to wrap this up because I usually talk for 30 to 40 minutes. I've gone a little long today, but I've had some fun. Bruce, I want to be a full-time content creator. Hey, Bruce, thanks for following the page. I think I am a full-time content creator. I think it's what God wants me to do. Again, I realized it 4.5 years ago when I was in my dark apartment and I was going live on Facebook. I was talking about life and experiences and ups and downs and sadness and struggles and what have you. And people started watching and identifying and connecting with my message. And here I am 4.5 years later, and my audience grows on various social media platforms. and I make a difference, whether it's just companionship for somebody that uh, I don't know, is feeling alone on a Saturday morning, or again, I go live every day. Or Danielle wants to talk about real estate, or somebody wants to talk about anxiety, or drinking too much, or gambling. I don't know. I think I have a ability, I'll say it, a gift to talk. I think God gives us all gifts, and God gave me the gift to talk, and life experiences. A lot of highs and lows, and an ability to share those highs and lows in a way that resonates with an audience. And if that's what I'm meant to do, I'm going to do it. And that's what I'm doing. That and drinking a heck of a lot of coffee. So one more sip, and it's not even going to be hot. Fun Fred McLaughlin says, can we talk about appreciating a nice bath? We sure can. I love a good bath. There's no doubt about that. I've done videos about it. When I'm when I'm feeling naughty, I'll take 2 baths in a day. Bruce, because you're on your second cup, and believe me, this isn't my second cup. I threw out what was sitting in the bottom of my cup, and I'm going to pour a little more, and I'm going to wrap this up here because I've been talking 45 minutes, but had a lot of fun with it. And I'll be live. I go live almost every day at 8 o'clock. I say almost every day. It's really every day, but every morning I go, should I go live? Because believe me, I'm sitting there in my PJs eating blueberry muffins, drinking my coffee. And sometimes, and I have absolutely nothing to say at those moments. Absolutely nothing to say. And I'll look at my wife and I'll go, well, what am I going to talk about? And she goes, you'll think of something. And then somehow, some way, 45 minutes of blah, 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 blah goes by. And here I am. So I appreciate you guys for watching. I really do. And for following my page, following along in my story, and sharing part of your set. Ooh, this coffee is quite hot. Let me take a sip. Sharing your coffee with me. And, well, Not Original wonders why I question doing this every morning. Well, because I'm totally chilled in my house, drinking coffee and eating a blueberry muffin. And I get bundled up and I talk live. And at the time when I'm sitting in my house, I think, I'm not going to have a damn thing to say. I won't say anything. I'm going to sit there and go, bleh. But somehow, some way, thank you so much, Bruce. The words come out, and a half an hour goes by, and I don't know. I usually enjoy it. I always enjoy it, and it leaves me with a smile, and I hope it leaves you with a smile. No, Bruce, I'm in Illinois. I'm coming at you from Naperville, Illinois, which is a town of just under 150,000, about 35 miles west of Chicago. Do I have anxiety? I sure have some. I used to struggle with it, but it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. Danielle says she's in Wadsworth, Illinois. I'm not familiar with Wadsworth. Danielle, I'm going to follow you. If you want to send me a message and talk real estate, I'd be happy to talk to you about any real estate. Let me see if I can. There, I think I just followed you back, Danielle. I followed you back. So if you want to message me, we can chat about real estate. Anyway, well, I want to thank you guys so much. I want to thank you for joining, sharing part of your Saturday, drinking some coffee, and sharing a little bit of your morning. Good morning, Kayan. How are you? But I so appreciate you guys for joining. I so appreciate you guys for following along in my story. And again, for being part of life and my life and following along in my adventure. And I hope you had a awesome night's sleep. I hope you had a great, great week. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're excited about your Saturday. It's going to be a beautiful one where I'm at, and I hope it's a beautiful one where you're at. I hope you're feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. Wow, that is pretty. That is pretty. I had it slid over, so it didn't look as pretty, but it looks super pretty now behind me. But anyway, I hope you're feeling good. I hope you're loving yourself. One last sip of coffee. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.